Hello guys, Shay here, bringing you guys a new video. Today we're going to be talking about 21 Pilots and what they've been doing for the past 2 days. It's really interesting. There's some stuff going on with the Rock Sound magazine, and there's been an interview, and there's also some weird little hints pointing towards an early release date of the album Trench. Now before I get into this, I want to say I'm sorry for my little setup I got here. I have no desk anymore. I moved out of my room, and so I don't really have a desk right now. I'm just on this table. And also I'm sorry for my voice because I am really sick and I probably sound terrible. But hopefully I can just, hold myself together until this video is over because I really want to put out content, but it's hard. Now before I get into the interview, I want to point out one cool thing. I found this screenshot of the interview, and if you look at Tyler's computer, you can see a photo of the Bourbaki group. I think this is Tyler hinting again that we will be getting more updates on the Dima website. Hopefully we do, because I really was interested with all that cryptic stuff. The hidden violation code and the hidden websites, and how if you would put Trench in the URL, just cool stuff like that. I loved that, and I really hope we get more of that. Anyway, that's something cool I noticed, and it made me happy. So these are just some main points I wrote down while I watched the interview. This is not everything. Go watch the interview for yourself if you want to know everything, but these are some things that are kind of important about the narrative and about kind of the fans. One thing Tyler mentions very early is that they took the hiatus because he needed time to make Trench. He actually mentions that right after the last show of Tour de Columbus, he went home and started working on Trench, which is really good because it kind of shows that they needed the hiatus. Now they also bring up similar things like, how Trench is a world, Blurryface was a character, but he also talks about how he wasn't really inspired to make music anymore until Heathens, which Heathens is a song that was on the Suicide Squad soundtrack, but he didn't write it for the movie. He actually wrote it about the fans, which a lot of people had speculated during the release, but then some people debunked it. But this proves that Heathens is actually about the fans and not about Will Smith, which is really cool, and it makes me like that song a little more. Even though I always viewed it in that way, a lot of people said it wasn't, and so I just don't. Heathens is an overrated but underappreciated song in my opinion, and I'm glad that there was some light brought towards it. He also mentions that the fans helped write the narrative of Trench and Blurryface. He also talks about, how the character Blurryface changed over time because of how the fans would view it and kind of change it. We'll get into more about how the fans changed the narrative of Trench soon, because right after this he mentions how Tyler actually watches the fans theorize and see if they get things right. But not only that, he actually uses some of the input to help write Trench. Now what I think he means by this is how, remember when we figured out about Dima and what it was, how it's a society, and how Tyler, or Clancy I guess, was inside Dima for 19 years? How we kind of theorized and thought maybe it was the music industry, maybe it was depression. He used that as inspiration to write part of the album that had to do with the narrative. For example, maybe someone else thinks that Dima is all about depression, but I personally believe it's about the music industry. Hence Clancy been in it for 9 years, 21 Pilots been in it for 9 years. Tyler even mentions about 9 years ago how they kind of started getting into the music industry, how they held their head down, started going for it. Maybe, for example, Tyler saw that and he used that to write some more of the album. Now, I'm just saying, he did say he only watches certain people, and so by any lucky chance, Tyler, if you're watching this, you're a cool dude and you make good music, and I appreciate it. It'd be crazy if somehow we got to collab, like not just me and Tyler, but if anyone did, like if Ginger Sheep and him did. I know the pop song Professor is actually trying to interview him. That would be so cool, and that would just be something I'd be looking forward to, regardless of who it is, where it is, what it is. My voice is, it's given. It's given. I got one last stretch to give you guys. Oh no, I'm cracking. Now, 2 more things that Tyler mentions in this interview that I really liked was how we need to talk about suicide more, and we can't be afraid of that word. Now, a lot of people like to relate this to trigger warnings. I personally don't think it was about that at all. I think it's that we need to face the problem in our society about suicide instead of hearing suicide and everyone's just, what? What do you say? Like, we have to acknowledge it more instead of just ignoring it, but still act like it's a big deal. When in reality, if you're ignoring it, we need to face our problems, is pretty much what he's saying. And he's happy that we're starting to do that more in our society. Anyway, he actually talks about Leave the City, which is the last song in Trench. We have not heard this yet, it's not a single. But he talks about the last line, which is the last line on the album, and it's just a cut-alone sentence. They know what I mean. And I think that could be talking about, some of the theorists are getting it right, or maybe are helping write the album. And he talks about how this song and pretty much the whole album as a whole is about the point in between 2 places and how we get there and how we move on. I think this could be about depression, or maybe just making a big step in your life, whatever it relates to you, the listener. I personally think of it as them trying to break the mold of what happens to an artist at this point while they're in the music industry. For example, they're following up a big album, but they want to do something different, they want to do something bigger. They don't want to become that casual band that finally makes a successful album, then changes their sound, sells out. I feel like that's kind of what he is talking about. But then again, I haven't even heard the song. From my view of Dima, that's what I take from it. Now, as Tyler said, we're writing the album, so think of it what you will, and really think of the place you're going to in this album, I guess. Think of it what you will. My voice is given out. This is not good. Anyway, that's mostly everything from the interview. It was a great interview. Go watch it. Anyway, one interesting thing that's been happening for a long time actually is people have been finding that if you go to your pre-orders on Apple Music, and if you go to Trench, it actually says released September 7th. Now, a lot of people go back to the My Blood leaks for the release date that also had the same date, but is it possible that we might be getting Trench tomorrow? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Personally, what I think happened is that My Blood was supposed to be released on the 7th, right? And then we ended up getting the leaks. So Tyler, filled by Ramen Warner, they decided, hey, let's just drop it right now. And Apple thinks that My Blood is part of the album and that it's supposed to be released on the 7th. I think that's just a glitch. I doubt the album's coming out the 7th, aka tomorrow. If it does, I'll be happy. Now, there's even more evidence going towards tomorrow, and that's where we're going to get into the Rock Sound thing. Now, if you guys don't know Rock Sound, they're just a magazine alternative. They're kind of like alt press. They released the Cancer cover from 21 Pilots, and they've done some really cool stuff in the past, including like exclusive CDs and just stuff like that. They've been kind of cryptic on their Twitter lately, and it's something interesting. So first, people got an email from Rock Sound, and pretty much all it said, it was a picture of black with these yellow dots, and it pretty much had the message, I'll be right there, from Jumpsuit. The image is pretty cool. It's my wallpaper right now, but I don't know. I think it's just a cool image. And then they tweeted out some Morse code, which translated to their website. Guess what? You go to their website, and you get this. 426 error. The simple things are sometimes the most complicated, but even the silent ones know one thing is clear: they do not control me, nor do they control you. And if you look at all the capital letters, similar to the Dima.org website, it says, cover me from Jumpsuit. Then they ended up updating the website again to another error code, which was same 426 error code. But now it said, you're in violation. Tell me immediately. How did you see what you saw? There have been more like you. Where are you coming from? Soon you will know everything. And then it has the violation code 0709-2018_1700. And if you look at the capital letters on this code, we get they are coming. And so first we have the set release date, quote unquote, for Trench tomorrow, right? And now if you look at this violation code, it's actually a date. It's tomorrow, 1700, 17 o'clock, which is army or military time, 5 p.m. Anyway, so we see that on the website. Everyone's freaking out. People are thinking, is Rock Sound about to drop? Are they about to release Trench through Rock Sound? Well, personally, I think it might just be a magazine, maybe an exclusive CD, bundle, merch thing. Something probably cool for the fans. Then they started tweeting. Does this look familiar? It's an eye with the Rock Sound logo in the back, and it says, the world around us is burning. This is a quote from the song Fairly Local. We then got another update. This eye says, this doesn't mean I lost my dream, which is from the song Heavy Dirty Soul. And then we get another eye that says, I'll slip away, from Goner. And we get next update, Don't Forget About Me, which is from Doubt. Release Me from the Present, which is from Message Man. Then we get Please Take Me from The Judge. One thing that's different from this eye sequence and 21 Pilots' own is that these are all from Blurry Fate. I'm not sure if that means anything, but I feel like it's just going to open up and it's going to be a yellow Rock Sound logo. Anyway, I find this really interesting. Maybe we're getting an exclusive single or music video. We should be getting something, and I would be keeping my eyes open. Even if it's just a magazine. Maybe it's another interview. Who knows? So then we got one more tweet after that last eye, and it says Friday, which is tomorrow, 9 o'clock at Los Angeles, 12 o'clock New York, 17 o'clock London. And now if you guys remember going back to the violation code, 17 o'clock, 5 p.m. in London, well, guess what time that is in New York? That's 12 p.m. That'll be 9 a.m. for me. So 9 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be keeping my eyes open. I don't know about y'all. But anyway, just some cool stuff. Hopefully something cool happens. I know Rock Sound is a magazine and all, and they probably are just doing this for some publicity. That's fine with me. But hopefully we'll be getting something at least worth the hype. A lot of people are overhyping it. I personally think it's just going to be something cool. I have my hopes up. Are we getting an album? Probably not. But if we do, Yay! Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Shaye. Peace.